sure. Is this the right one?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, how would you like to do this problem? Tangent of theta equals 4/3 and the sine of theta is less than 0. We have choice. We can either use unit circles or we can use triangles. Like triangles, okay. So here's my right triangle. Where do you want to put theta? Bottom left? All right, here's theta. All right, if I know that the tangent of theta is 4/3, what can I say about 4 related to my triangle? It's on the opposite side. What can I say about 3 related to my triangle? It's the adjacent side. Hey, that's easy enough. Now, in order to answer the rest of the questions, I'm going to need the hypotenuse. So to calculate the hypotenuse, we'll call it x. I'll have 3 squared plus 4 squared equals x squared. That gives me 9 plus 16 equals x squared. So 25 is equal to x squared. So x equals what? Plus or minus 5 is x. Which one do I keep in y? Length is positive. So I'm going to keep 5. All right, but now I am told to find the sine of theta. All my triangle's going to tell me is the ratio, but it won't tell me if it's a positive or negative one. I'll have to get that information from what's given in the problem. So let's start by making my ratio. What will be the ratio for my sine of theta? Right, the opposite over the hypotenuse, so it'll be 4/5. And is it going to be positive or negative? Well, it's easy to see that one because I'm told
It's less than
sine of
0.
theta needs to be negative. Okay, that one's negative. But for the rest of them, I'm going to need to know what quadrant I'm in. So here I have a positive tangent and a negative sine. What quadrant does that happen in? Quadrant 3. Everybody's okay with that?
A what?
A positive tangent and a negative sine happens only in quadrant 3. So I'm in quadrant 3. That's going to help me figure out what my positive and negativeness is for all the rest of the problems. So then I have the cosine of theta. In quadrant 3, is the cosine going to be positive or negative? Negative. And what's the ratio going to be based on my triangle?
3/5.
Adjacent over hypotenuse, so 3/5. And then the next one is secant. Secant is which?
Opposite over hypotenuse.
5/3, but it's going to be negative because the secant and the cosine are related, so since the cosine was negative, the secant will be negative, and it will be 5/3 because it's hypotenuse over adjacent. What's the next one down there? Cosecant? Negative 5/4. The cosecant and the sine are related, so their positive or negativeness is the same, and it's hypotenuse over opposite. And then the cotangent of theta, 3/4. I can just flip my cotangent over, flip over my tangent, or it's adjacent over hypotenuse. Now you may recall we did something very similar to this using the unit circle in class. And I'm pretty sure I used this piece of the board and this piece of the board